I invite the chief guest, Dr. W. Selvamurthy, distinguished scientist and former Chief Controller, R&D, DRDO, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, to address the candidates.
His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, and the Chancellor of this very esteemed university, Dr. D. Rosaiah-ji, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Thiru Palaniyappan, very distinguished scientist and academician and Vice Chancellor of this very, very reputed university, Bharathiar University, Professor James Pichaiah, members of the syndicate, faculties, my dear students, and their proud parents, members of the media, invitees, guests, and friends. It gives me a very great pleasure to be here. I have been to this university on several occasions, but it is a special occasion for me that I am addressing the future of India, the people who are going to shoulder the responsibilities of the nation in governance, in science, technology, industries, teaching, and all other spheres where the society is looking for. So I am very happy to be here on the 29th convocation at this university where I have visited at least maybe 50 times to this university, because we have a center here. From 1987 onwards, I have been visiting on several occasions to address research advisory councils and also the governing council, and also some of these research programs which we are doing together between Defense Research and Development Organization and the Bharathiar University. So I'm very happy to be here again. So it's almost like a homecoming for me. I must first felicitate and congratulate all these graduates, undergraduates, postgraduates, doctoral and postdocs who are passing out from here today, and also the awardees particularly who have won laurels through their very dedicated efforts in science and technology. My felicitation to you, and I wish, may God bless you with all great strength to shoulder new responsibilities for the nation and the mankind. I must also congratulate the parents and the family members who are present here on this very happy occasion to witness the awardees, their own wards getting awards, degrees. So my congratulations to all of you. You have shaped this future of India. Our heartiest congratulations to you. I must also congratulate the Chancellor, the Pro-Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor, and all members of this Bharathiar University who have been responsible for producing these kind of knowledge workers, not only for the country, but for the whole world, for the 7 billion people to look into their welfare. You are producing the knowledge workers. So my compliments and also grateful thanks to you that you are doing that yeoman service to the society. The theme which I chose for today's address, for a brief address, is going to be a new paradigm for higher education in India. That's going to be the theme on which I want to address the students, faculties, and all the people who are responsible for higher education here. India is emerging definitely as a new knowledge superpower. This is not predicted by Indian scientists or technologists, but it is predicted by world community. So if you look at New Scientist, the magazine, the journal, which is a very reputed journal, in which the 19th February 2005 issue gives a tricolor flag of India, and then the title of that whole issue is the India, the next knowledge superpower. So in 2005, the world community of scientists and technologists have predicted India is emerging as the next knowledge, not power, knowledge superpower. So how is it going to happen? How is it going to happen, and what we should do to make it happen? That is the theme on which I'm going to speak. The first thing is, we had industrial era between 1870 to 1960. World witnessed the industrial era, but India missed the industrialization, industrial revolution, because we were under British colonial rule, so we missed the industrialization. Then came an information era. Between 1960 to 2000 was the information era, where India played a significant role. We did made IT revolution, which almost fed 60% of GDP, so that we applied information technology for service sector, which fed about 60% GDP. That was a great significant contribution from the IT revolution into country's development. But we didn't make a high-end software, high-end hardware in computers, but then our information technology, but we did use it, we did apply it. So we did participate in information era, but in present new knowledge era, India is going to play a pivotal role. There's not only a significant role, but a leadership role and emerging as a new knowledge superpower. How is it going to happen? Like in Tamil Nadu, which is almost a hub of knowledge for our country, and this state is emerging as a knowledge hub, producing knowledge workers, where we find number of colleges, universities, professional institutions, engineering, medical colleges, not only in government sector, but also in private sector have come in. So we produced almost a few million of these knowledge workers every year in science, engineering, management, laws, and also arts and humanities. So it's a very big knowledge center. India is emerging as a knowledge center where a lot of knowledge workers are produced. Doctoral students, postdocs, postgraduates, graduates in science, engineering, and various disciplines. So this is a very good indicator that India is producing knowledge workers to the world. India is also a hub, established many knowledge centers, like which I mentioned. Tamil Nadu is one important highlight in India that we have produced, and we are establishing a number of centers, both from the private as well as the public sector. So these are some indications. The other indications are publications. So if you do a horizon scanning of the publications, today the number of publications in high impact factor journals which come out is very huge from India. With a limited resource of 0.9% of GDP, we are able to produce a large number of publications in reputed journals, in international as well as national journals. Patents. Now the country is producing Thomson Reuters. If you look at the Thomson and Reuters statistics, India is now catching up with the world standards of patents, which was not happening once upon a time. So today, India is also having intellectual property rights protection, which indicates that we are producing new knowledge and intellectual property, which is being protected by patents. So all these are very good indicators that India is certainly emerging as a knowledge hub and also knowledge superpower. The public-private partnership in higher education is very important, and Tamil Nadu state has set the model, the unique standards, and also a unique thrust which has given for the public-private partnership in higher education. Government alone cannot meet, because as he said, the report of Vice Chancellor, where he said 12% and 9%, leading to about 10.5% average, the people who get into education in our country is only about 10% of people get into higher education. Very unfortunate. Whereas the other people leave with the school educations. But if you look at the US, it is 50%. 50% of people get into professional courses, university education, technical education. But in India, it's very low. But even the 10%, considering the total population of 1.25 billion, it's mind-boggling. The number which you have to handle for higher education, 10%.